Welcome to another episode of Podsitivity. Thank you all for joining. I want to remind you to please like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. It helps me out, and I love hearing your feedback. Um, I want to talk today about therapy, and I've seen the journey for myself that I've had with, and the relationship that I've had with the concept of therapy. And I think that it can be extremely helpful if I share this story so that you have the information for yourself and you can make the decision what it is that you want to do. So I'll start with my introduction to therapy. My introduction was that I remember it was, I think, 3 years ago in the summer, and I was feeling extremely low, and I was just not happy with life. So at that point, just like when something hurts on the outside, we go to a doctor. Same as when something hurts on the inside, you also go to a doctor. This is what the Rambam says. So I remember my father introduced me to somebody that's a therapist, and I went to meet him, a very nice guy actually, and he actually helped me put a few things into perspective. I then met him again a while later, but I wasn't consistent with going to therapy. So that was my introduction to the concept of therapy, but I was able to see how effective it was by explaining to me a few things and just going through my thoughts and thinking that I had a very miserable life. But really, I noticed that it wasn't so miserable when I was breaking it down in my mind. Um, but now I've been in therapy for over 6 months, consistently every single week, once a week, through Zoom, and it's been helping me tremendously. And that's why I figured let me share, because I know a lot of people there can use that extra help or chizik or whatever, and I'm here to put out this information so that you have it. First of all, I really believe that a therapist is like a shidduch. So that means that I've spoken to many people that do therapy, and then till I landed with somebody that I felt comfortable enough with their message, with their style, with their communication, with their way of working. So it's extremely important that not just because you tried one, that means that, and that didn't work for you, that means that they're the problem or that you're the problem. It could sometimes take 5 or 10 therapists until you find comfortability with somebody where you can share and that person has an ability to help you. And a real therapist should tell you that they can't help you. So that's an important understanding to know. Or sometimes maybe perhaps you're not even ready. You're just you're seeking for a quick fix, and you're noticing that you have to do all this hard work and you're not willing or obligated. So it's an easier way to blame the therapist. Maybe that's the case sometimes. But I feel like therapy is like a shidduch. I want to explain the process of therapy a little bit, so what it is. Like I said, I do mine on Zoom, but some are in person. Maybe it's a little bit better. You have real communication, a real connection, a little bit more. But the process of therapy is usually sessions between 45 minutes to an hour, where you basically share for the majority of the time. You share about yourself, about what's on your plate, about what's bothering you, or what you're happy about good ideas, positive things that are happening in your life. And through talking and seeing all these things, you come to notice that you notice stuff, and it's beautiful to notice. It's beautiful to have awareness. So that's usually the process of therapy. Usually it's once a week for about 45 minutes to an hour, where you're meeting with a therapist via Zoom or in person. Some do every second week or once a month or whatever, or they go every 6 months if they want to just follow up and check in. But that's usually the process of therapy. For all those people that right away want to ask the question, do I need therapy? Well, I would ask you, does something from inside hurt you? And if the answer to that is yes, then there's a very big chance that therapy can help you. If the answer is no, then go on with your life and enjoy. I want to share my 3 biggest realizations that I had through therapy so that you can understand for yourself what you might realize about your life. So the first biggest realization that I had was discovering my beliefs about marriage. And to me, that was super important because I'm a deep person, and I'm not married yet. And as much as I want to get married and try to get into a relationship, or have that relationship give me everything that I think it does give me, I notice that no, it's just my beliefs that are messing around with how my relationships would be going in the future. So I noticed so many things that I have to change about myself, whether it was clinging, or the belief that somebody will leave me, or the belief that I'm not good enough, or the belief that that marriages are supposed to be painful and hurtful and all these things. And I just noticed through talking about it and realizing, the ideas and perceptions that I grew up with, I noticed that it was all me. It wasn't real, all these beliefs that I had. So through therapy, I was able to set myself straight. And now when I go out and I date, I'm in alignment with what's real, with what's real for me. And that was super important to discover this. So many times, maybe a lot of people listening to this are single, or they are married and they're looking to get into a marriage, or they're looking to have a better marriage. And therapy can really help you with discovering that, with discovering yourself, so that you know what you're doing. Okay. The second thing that it helped me with was anxiety. Um, I feel like I've had anxiety when I go to places. People see me, oh, you're always out and about and you're having a good time. Well, that's very nice, but for many times that I went to shows or stuff or places or simchas, I felt very anxious. And the reason for that was because I had an issue with saying no to certain things. I would just go and hustle and go and stress myself and overwork, just to feel some sort of validation that I went somewhere or whatever, but it wasn't coming from a healthy, good place. So I learned the ability to be able to say no to stuff. If I don't want to go to a simcha, I'll say no. If I don't want to go to a show or an event, I'll say no. Even if it's the same day or the same, whatever it is, I come before anything. Um, and another thing that I noticed was that I was I felt like I was very much addicted to dopamine, to my own phone, to the validation of others, to constantly being on my phone, checking who's messaging me. And that's also something that I created healthy boundaries within therapy, of when I use my phone, how often I use it, when I respond to people, when I don't, um, how much do I need people to give me validation, or can I be alone with myself? So these are just three main areas in my life that I feel like I was only able to achieve and accomplish through therapy. Um, I want to talk about some of the statistics about therapy, so that you understand. According to Forbes, 75% of people that go to therapy become better, become a better human. So you have a very big chance that if you sign up for therapy, even if you don't feel like you're in a dark place, it could just help you and enlighten your life. People feel stronger with therapy. They change their behaviors in therapy. They can notice what's limiting their thoughts. They can heal pain from the past. You can build skills. You can build your self-confidence, handle your emotions better, become better at problem solving. Especially once you discover your strengths and your weaknesses, you have now the ability to work on it, to see, oh, okay, this thing is bothering me. This thing is a blockage in my life. Um, Another statistic that I found fascinating is that 30% of adults are on therapy. And so I don't feel like there's any shame. And that's why I don't feel ashamed to say that I go to therapy. Um, there's, on the opposite side, there is, unfortunately, 53% of our generation, especially generation Gen Z, 53% have tried therapy. So again, like I said, no shame over there. But I think that the scary numbers are that 13% of adults and 25% of students have thought about, had suicidal ideation. So, and I think that gives us a little bit of a wake-up call, both that we should take care of ourselves and we should take care of others, but definitely to take out the shame of therapy. If somebody needs help, or they're feeling trapped, or they're feeling alone, they should go seek help. It's a very normal thing to go get help. Another few statistics that I'll just read out over here. I think it's fascinating. This is mental health and therapy in the US. First of all, 41% said they struggle with anxiety, 39% struggle with stress, 30% have depressive phases, 28% have feelings of loneliness or social isolation, 26% have mood swings, 23% have phases of sadness, 20% have panic attacks, 20% struggle with self-esteem, 14% have phases of lethargy, and 8% have phobias. And 26% said that they have none of the above. So I think that about 75% struggle with some form of something within their mental health, keeps on coming up and bothering them. A few more statistics: 70% of teens said that they have anxiety and depression, and it's a major issue for them. There are 552,000 mental health professionals practicing in the US. I think that's amazing. Scientific studies prove that psychotherapy is an effective, or even more effective than medication at treating depression. So I think that that's really amazing, that talking to somebody is even more powerful than any medication that you can take for anxiety or depression. I think that, and then again, there are many forms of therapy, by the way. So that's also something that you can find what's right for you. But the most common form of therapy is having somebody that you can talk to minimum once a week, where you feel a really safe zone, a safe space. And that's how I feel. I know that every week I have my open space. Even when I'm not in therapy, I know during the week that if I have any kind of issue, anything comes up, I know that I have one day a week where I have an open space to talk about anything and everything without any judgment. And that alone is super powerful. I look at therapy as a luxury, to be able to explore myself, my feelings, my ideas. And some weeks maybe I had a hard week and I'm looking to explore and discuss something and work on something. But some weeks I just feel like, for me, the therapy is discovering and discussing the positive things and the positive changes in my life. And that's just beautiful. I feel like I'm in therapy to notice the good stuff about my life. So I feel really blessed. And even in people that are in marriages, even if you're in a happy marriage, why not go for therapy? Try out, learn more about yourself, learn more about your spouse, see what's working. This is not just something that, therapy shouldn't be something that you just use for an emergency, when you feel like you're crashing and you run for therapy. Again, I see it as a luxury. Some people say you shouldn't be committed to therapy. It's like going to a hospital. You have to get treatment. Some people get extremely triggered by this whole concept of therapy, and some people feel extreme shame around it. Like, why do I have to go to a therapist? But I can tell you my story, my life, that I feel like I have, Baruch Hashem, a very good life, but I feel like I also had struggles in my life. And I feel like this was a perfect way for me to get through it. And I also feel like, even though I had a good week, or even though my life will get to the best point ever and I only feel happy and clear and I have everything that I need, I feel like I would still continue therapy, so that I have an open space where I can talk and discuss and see all the things that are happening in my life. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to share in the comments, and I'll try to answer it through social media or WhatsApp status. I will leave the link to my WhatsApp status in the description, so feel free to message me if you have any questions, or if you want to sign up to see my status. Follow me on social media if you want, on Instagram, LinkedIn, a bunch of different platforms that you can check out in the description. And thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this with a friend that can use it. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.